The first one I remember doing that really shocked me was when I projectile vomit all over Jessica Lucas. You know, it's an actual tube of whatever liquid that is that shoots into your mouth and then shoots out of your mouth, and then they paint the tube out with whatever technology that is, but you really are having that much pressure. And when I was looking, I was like on all fours on top of Jessica Lucas, and they were like, it was like go time, because you can't really practice because it takes so long to clean that up. So you have to shoot the practice take. And it was like, painful, but also just like I was waterboarding her. And I was like I felt like I was gonna faint. It was so intense, and I was like looking at her drowning, and I was like, holy fuck. But there's so many. Like I remember after I say you're all gonna die tonight, and something happens with the windows, and there's a shotgun. I'm like laying on the ground, and they wanted the shotgun to be smoking, like it had just fired, and that was me smoking a cigarette. And I'm trying to think, there's so many, me cutting my tongue in half, like everyone's like, that is so disgusting. Well, if you were there, it was not scary at all. It was a Kiwi man, we were in New Zealand with like dental floss basically on either sides of a prosthetic tongue going like this in front of me and like wiggling the two sides of the tongue. So, yeah, those are 3 examples.
That's cool, I didn't know about the cigarette, I forgot, that's great. Very DIY after all the things that they thought of. It was kind of like tedious, but I think in the end it really paid off. I think that's what kind of makes this movie, stand on its own 2 feet or whatever. But I luckily didn't have tons of that stuff happening to me. But I do remember the vomit scene, and I remember you feeling really terrible for Jessica, that you were like waterboarding her, like you said, with vomit, and she was a trooper. The one thing that I got to see was Natalie cutting her arm off, and that was cool. I don't remember how many times they were able to do that, but that was incredible to watch.
I thought it was only 1 or 2 because they had that stunt woman behind her in the cabinet who had to sit there with her arm like that, and then they prosthetic her arm to Natalie's arm, and then could cut through it once with that turkey cutter. Yeah, it's kind of the coolest thing I got to watch. Yeah.
I mean, I like to bring this up all the time because I like think it's so cool that I did this, but I was buried alive.
Oh yeah, I remember how scary
for real. Like 3 different versions of it. So.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah.
That was horrible. They're like, what are you talking about? Just put dirt on her. I'm like,
Until
on
she
her
disappears.
face? What are you talking? Like, really? Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, it's bad.
Got another one back there.
Is this thing on? Jane, this is for you. If they asked you, would you come back to the franchise?
Yes.
That's a quick.
I know that there were kind of like rumors floating around for a time that they were supposed to do like something with you and Bruce Campbell, like an Ash.
I was talking to Bruce. I was at Comic-Con with him in Seattle last weekend, or 2 weekends ago, and he says he's retired Ash. So it might need some convincing from.
I heard something about he said he would do it, but only if Sam Raimi directed.
He told me he's retired.
Oh shit!
I know.
Maybe Sam told him he's done.
But you never know with these guys. They like to surprise you.
Hi, thank you so much for being here, first of all. I was just curious about which part did you think was the most challenging part to film? Thank you.
I think, honestly, they saved my death float away for the last take that we did because they could only do it once because it was actually just like a pool of chemicals. Like, it's just so many things that I should not have on my face or eyes because I would definitely get sick, and I did after. Then they said Fede was like, just float in it for as long as you can. Just don't breathe for as long as you can. We did like a minute of that, and then I got sick. That was the most challenging that I had to do.
I would say probably the blood rain sequence because that was 2 weeks of work. I was the only actor except for Randall, who was this very tall man who played the Abomination, which they like digitally put my face on his face. But it was 2 weeks of night shoots in blood rain every single take in winter, and it was hard, but it looks really cool.
How long was that? Because I thought you were there for a whole more
No,
months
it was,
than us.
well, I was there forever
Yeah.
in New Zealand for sure, but that sequence was 2 weeks.
Whoa.
Yeah. And that's after getting raped by a tree and, you know, a lot of other horrible things.
It's another one of those things. Read from the book. Oh, let's go into the forest. Get raped by trees.
Yeah, casual.
Yeah.
I think I'm remembering things that I haven't remembered in a long time, like pushing Lou away as he floated into the mist of that nastiness. But I remember the dog dying, and they couldn't like get the dog to stay still or whatever. So they had brought this really gross, wet, like molting, maybe taxidermy dog possibly. And that was challenging because it didn't smell very good, and I was supposed to be like this emotional scene, and Fede wanted to really talk to me about it. I'm like, let's please just get this over with. Poor Grandpa. That's right there. Yeah.